Hello and welcome back, everybody, to a new stream. So, of course, it is Friday, the 7th of June. We are at the end of a new week. Well, the end of the first week of this month as well. Yeah, this week, to be honest with you, it hasn't been the best week. Yeah, it hasn't been as good of a week as last week. Remember, last week was an absolutely amazing week for us. 4 trades, all of those trades were winning trades. This week, I did only take 2 trades. I should have taken 3 trades, but yeah, unfortunately, yesterday I did miss one of those trades. But yeah, I took 2 trades this week. One of them was a losing trade. One of them was a winning trade. So overall, okay, I ended this week with some nice profits. But yeah, of course, I am looking to enter into a new trade as well. So of course, in this live stream, we will be talking about new trades that I am looking to enter into, previous trades that I've taken, and also the trade that I regrettably didn't enter into yesterday. Now I got a little bit distracted yesterday, so yeah, that's the reason I didn't enter into that. But I will talk about that long trade that I should have entered in here, because it is really, really good for educational, yeah, just for like the educational side of things, to go over it, because this is a trade that this is a type of trade that I will take, any opportunity that I see it. Okay, so of course I will talk about that. It's really good for the education. And then, of course, I will talk about where I expect the price to kind of go from here. So, yeah, we will, of course, jump into the analysis. Before we do, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. I would really appreciate it. It helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can continue to bring this content for you. Of course, if you are new, make sure you subscribe. And yeah, Island Time, good to see you back here. Thank you for being here. Explore, is that how you say the name? Explore. Good to see you here. I don't believe I've seen you here before. So yeah, good to see new faces. We are actually seeing Bitcoin dump here, and I, of course, will talk about that as well. What do you think about GME? Yeah, GME to the moon. GME to the moon. Personally, for me, I don't trade it. I have never traded it. Yeah, I prefer to just stick to more to the Bitcoin, to the Ethereum. I don't trade anything that has a hype, really. I am just, I consider myself a professional trader. Okay, this is my profession. This is what I do full time. So yeah, I do tend to just stick to the professional style of trading. What I consider to be professional type of trading, just because I know that my risk is very good. Okay, my risk is very good. If I start to trade something like GME, then I feel as though I am gambling. Okay, maybe some people have a really good strategy for trading that. For me, I know what works for me. I know where my risk management lies and what I'm willing to risk, and I know that I have a very good risk management strategy that I can actually show you. I was looking at this just before I came live. Let me just pull this. So I was just looking at the trades that I have taken over the past few weeks, right? So let me just pull this up. Okay, this is every single trade, okay, that I have taken over, right? Well, yeah, over the past few weeks, okay. And as you can see, right, the majority of them are green. Yes, we have the odd loss here and there, okay, but what you can see is that the losses in comparison to some of these wins are pretty minor, right? The biggest loss that I have actually taken recently is, yeah, here, $761 in a loss, right? That was my biggest loss recently. But then if you look down here, right, you can see what my biggest win is, right? So it is a very small loss in comparison to, my biggest win. And you can also see, some big wins here as well, like $4,000, $4,600, down here, $5,600. So yeah, for me, I understand what works, and the strategy that I use works. Okay, the proof is right here. Over time, this is a very, very profitable strategy. The strategies that I use, right? Yes, I come into losses here and there. I fully accept that. I fully understand that that is a part of trading, but it's about winning the majority of your trades, but also having that risk management where if you do take a loss, it is only going to be a very minor loss in comparison to the wins that you take, right? So, yeah, for me, I would never trade anything like GME. And if I were to, I would put an amount of money on that trade that I just really don't care about, because I would understand that I have a very high chance of losing money on that, unless I really sat down and I really analyzed it and found a strategy for it. Yeah, for me, I just stick to what I know. But yeah, I know that there's a lot of hype around it, and I know that Roaring Kitty, is that his name? If the stock reaches to um what is it, $70, he becomes a billionaire from what I believe. So yeah, that's really quite interesting, to be honest with you. But yeah, for me, it's just yeah, not something that I would trade. So yeah, enough of that. Let's jump into the charts and yeah, see what is going on. Talk about what is happening. Before we start, I will just blow my nose and I will go off camera for it because it's hay fever season. My eyes are itchy. My nose is blocked. Right, let's jump into it. Let's jump into it then. So, of course, right, we are looking at this range, right? We're looking at this range to trade, okay? And yeah, I have actually taken a short trade from up here, right? So I took this short trade from up here, and as you can see, it was a profitable trade, right? It was a really profitable trade for us. If we take a look at the Discord, you can see this is where I entered into the trade here. As you can see, took a scalp trade, right? I was looking for price to pull back to range low. And yeah, we could see that long absorption was occurring. Okay, so even though we did see a rise and the trade was in a little bit of a loss, okay, I was still confident on this trade because we had long absorption occurred at range high. So as you can see on Exo charts here, we had long absorption occurring. As time went on, okay, it got a little bit late. It was 10 p.m. So I told the team, limit TPs are set. I'm off to bed. As you can see there, I've set my limit TPs. Mid-range, of course, I always take some profit off of the table at mid-range. And then, of course, we have range low as well, which is another target of mine. Updating the team again, long absorption is still occurring, right? So I'm still pretty confident in price pulling back here, right? Because we are forming long absorption, and we also have the GP786 as well. Woke up in the morning at 7:30, right? Limit TP was triggered last night. As you can see, price pulled back, tapped that limit TP, and yeah, I took 50, yeah, around 50% off of the trade. I think it was just a little bit less. Maybe it was 40%. I can't really remember. But yeah, I took a lot of profit off that trade. As you can see there, $259 in a profit. And then yesterday at 9 p.m., TP2 was tapped perfectly. As you can see, yeah, we actually still had long absorption coming in. And then we did get a big, big pullback. And yeah, as you can see, $540 in a profit on that trade there. We did have some unrealized profits still left in the trade. For me, I was just waiting to see if we were going to get a range break towards the downside. If we did, I wanted to yeah, take advantage of that, of course. And then, of course, stop loss was moved to entry, making it a completely risk-free trade. So, yeah, there was no way that I could lose any money on this trade. I could only make a profit of $540. So, it was a very profitable trade, risk-free trade at that point as well. So, yeah, we did then come down to range low. So range low was tapped to the dollar, right? That's of course where we took the TP2. Range to, yeah, and I was just having a little joke here, right? Literally to the dollar. We zoomed in, right? We can take a look at the wick, and it was literally to the dollar that we tested that. And yeah, we did actually get a really nice bounce off of that level, a really nice bounce. Now, in this morning's daily market update, I was talking about this. Unfortunately, my EXO chart for some reason messed up this morning, but yeah, we were initially talking about it, right? And yeah, it was actually a long trade for me. I didn't take it. I'm currently what I'm currently doing is yeah, setting up my new office. I do have a new office, and yeah, I was a little bit distracted with sorting out my new office because I'm trying to move in there as soon as possible. And yeah, I got a little bit distracted with that. I completely forgot about the trade. And then we can take a look. Yeah, of course, we tapped range low to the dollar. And then we can take a look at EXO and we can see that, yeah, 17 million new short trades opened up at the lows. And yeah, we formed a swing failure pattern of the range low, okay, a very slight swing failure pattern of the range low, but also we formed a swing failure pattern of this low here. So for me, right, this was actually a long trade. I didn't take it. I did miss the trade, right? But it would have been a profitable trade, right? I would have been looking for TP1 here. And then, of course, today, TP2 was tapped all the way up at the range high, right? So, of course, looking back, again, we had a swing failure pattern of the range low, a very, like, literally a dollar swing below the range low, but initially, right, we can still count that. We can also look at these lows here as well. Those were, you know, we swing failed those lows as well. And we also had 17 million new short trades coming in at this in this candle, right? And then what we saw is a swing failure pattern, of course. And yeah, we understand that as price starts to rise, a lot of these shorts are underwater. Okay, they are in a loss. And what a lot of them will have to do is, as price rises, is they'll have to cover or they get liquidated. Okay, and what that means is that they have to buy back into the market, adding fuel to the fire, pushing the price higher. Okay, and that's exactly what happened. We saw price come all the way up to that range high. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna have to blow my nose again. I can never win. I can never win in the winter. I get a cold. In the summer, I get really bad hay fever. I can just never win. But anyway, we saw a rise towards the upside, okay, all the way up to range high. And yeah, I was explaining to the team, right? Well, let's have a look at the Discord, right? So I fixed the EXO chart glitch. Like I said in the daily market update, 17 million new shorts opened up at the range low. Unfortunately, I missed the long as I was distracted. However, if you spotted this, congratulations. So, of course, they're talking about the 17 million shorts at the low. Okay. And then, of course, yeah, range high was tapped. And then I said, what the F was that? Okay. Because literally, as we tapped $72,069, right? We tapped that, and in like a split second, right? It was literally a split second. We saw this huge rejection off of the level. Okay, huge rejection off of the level. Now, $72,069 was a level that I was interested in shorting. Now, I understand that we did have a data release today, non-farm payrolls. I myself, I only look at the technicals, so you know, I wasn't really that interested in looking at the fundamentals, such as that non-farm payroll. Okay. I wasn't interested in it because I understand that the strategy that I use, the strategy that works for me, right, is just solely looking at the technicals. Okay, maybe for yourself you like to look at the fundamentals. Maybe you don't trade on a day like when some fundamental news is coming out. Okay, I myself, I don't really pay attention to it, but I understand here that that has kind of affected. Yeah, it was possibly, we don't know for certain, but it was possibly the non-farm payrolls that kind of affected the short trade that I was looking for. So yeah, I was looking for a short trade. In the daily market update to the team this morning, I was telling the team that I was looking for a short trade up here. I wanted to see some sort of swing failure pattern of the range high, or possibly 72,000, okay, or a failed auction, right? And we did initially form that failed auction, right? But the failed auction was then formed all the way down here. For me, I'm never going to take a trade down here, okay? If I'm trading a range, I'm never going to take this trade, right? I want to look for a failed auction up here. Okay, I want to see longs opening up at the high. And not necessarily, we don't necessarily always have to see lots of longs opening up at the high, and then for those longs to cover, right? We don't necessarily need to see that, right? We can just see a weak rise towards the upside, a failed auction off of that, okay? And when we see a weak rise towards the upside, the expectation is that we kind of get a pullback anyway, and that's kind of what we saw. If we take a look at Excel charts, we can see that the rise was actually pretty weak, right? It was flat open interest here, but over time, open interest has been decreasing as price has been rising. So it has been a pretty rubbish rise towards the upside. So even though we didn't get the crazy longs coming in at the high that we usually like to see, I would still have taken this short trade because I understand that this rise has been very, very weak. And we know this rise has been very weak, but because it's been fueled by the 17 million shorts that opened up down here. Okay, the 7 million shorts that opened up down here fueled this move towards the upside. We can very, very clearly see that with the open interest, okay, because we can see people leaving the market, right? We can see that these 17 million shorts that opened up here are having to buy back into the market, right? So we can see them leaving their trades. So yeah, I was looking for a short up from up here, right? But yeah, we did just get a very, very, very quick move towards the downside, and it was just too quick for me to trade. It was literally just too quick for me to trade. So yeah, it was pretty impossible for me to trade that. But that's fine, right? I understand that there are going to be many more trades in the future. So yeah, I'm just going to be remaining patient and waiting for the next levels for myself to trade. Right? I was telling the team here at 22.2. I said 72,600. Sorry, 72,069 was tapped pretty much to the dollar. And we've seen a huge rejection off of the level. I haven't traded this. What did I say? I haven't traded this as it all happened in a matter of seconds. Expectation now is that we come down to range low where I can look for a long trade. Okay, so I'm updating the team here saying, we can expect, right? We've taken out range high. We can now expect range low. And that's exactly what we are seeing here. Okay. So I told the team this at, almost 2 p.m. Right. So that was all the way back here. Okay. That was all the way back here when I was telling the team, right, we can now expect range low. And we are coming now down to range low. We're getting ever so close to range low. And of course, that's where I said to the team, right? I can look for a long trade down here. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to be looking for a long trade down here. Like back here, I was looking for a long trade. I did miss the long trade from here, unfortunately, right? But again, there was a long trade to be had from down here, and it was a profitable long trade, as you can see. Same thing, right? I'm going to trade this range until the range breaks, right? Remember last week, okay? Last week, we took 4 trades. All 4 of those trades were winning trades. What was I doing? Well, I was literally just shorting range high and longing range low, right? I took a long trade here. I didn't take this short trade, but that would have been a valid short trade. I took the long trade here. I took the short trade here. Right, let's actually get rid of that. I took the long trade there, took the short trade there, took the long trade there, right? So those 4 trades, all 4 of those trades were profitable trades, okay? All 4 of them were very profitable trades. And I'm literally going to do the same as I did last week, right? I'm going to trade that range until the range breaks. That is my plan. So if we are going to come down to range low here, what will I be looking for? Okay, well, I would initially like to see lots of shorts coming in down here. If we see lots of shorts coming in and then we start to form a failed auction or a swing failure pattern, right, then I'm looking for that long trade, okay? I'm looking for that long trade, TP1 at mid-range, and then I'm looking for a TP2 at range high, of course. That is how I like to take my profit. Okay, so that is what I will be targeting. If I don't see any of that down here, right, if I don't see a swing failure pattern, if I don't see a failed auction, okay, I will just be looking for lower prices. Okay, I will be looking for lower prices there, and there will be no trade for me to take. Right, we could also see, right, let's have a look at, sorry, I'm gonna have to blow my nose again. Oh, I absolutely hate hay fever. Rednet, good to see you back. Good to see you back, my friend. How are you? So yeah, where were we? Where were we? So yeah, let's just have a look. Let's just have a look at what the move is looking like. So this is actually a strong move towards the downside, to be honest with you. Okay, so I would expect, right? I would expect if we do come down here, we're probably going to see a lot of shorts opening up. Okay, because what I'm, again, I talk about this a lot. When you're thinking about entering into a trade, okay, when you're thinking about entering into a trade, you have to think like a retail trader, right? You have to think like a beginner trader. Again, you don't trade like a beginner trader, right? You trade like how an institution would trade, okay? But you have to get in that mindset of a beginner trader. You have to get into that mindset of how you traded when you first got into trading, okay? And this is how I think, right? As price is pulling back here, and if this is a strong move, right, shorts are opening up. I understand, okay, that if shorts are going to open up coming into this level here, right, if shorts are going to open up coming into this level, and we get a pretty considerable amount of shorts opening up here, okay, we know, and I know as an experienced trader now, that if price was pulling back here and we actually broke down from this level, I would be shorting, right? I would be one of those, okay, for example, back here, right, when we broke this low, I would have been one of those 17 million traders who entered into a short. That would have been me. Okay. And we will probably, it's not certain, right? But we will probably see the same thing here. I would expect, because it is a good pullback. I would expect, right, if we see millions of shorts coming in at the low down here, right? If we see millions of the shorts coming in here, I understand that retail traders, beginner traders that are just looking at the bare minimum are thinking, right, this is a breakout, this is or a breakdown, okay, this is a breakdown, let's short, okay. But then what happens is price forms like a failed auction or a swing failure pattern, okay, we get acceptance back into the range, right? This is actually very bullish, because then what we're looking at is we're looking at trapped shorts at the lows, right? Those trapped shorts at the lows, what do they have to do? Okay, well, they have to cover, meaning that they have to buy back into the market, and that means that it pushes the price higher, right? That's exactly what happened on this trade here, okay, and that's exactly what happens in this trade here, right? That's exactly what, that was a perfect example last week, right? We can go back to last week. I love to show this example because it was just such an amazing example. Was it? I believe it was this one here. Yeah. So 30th of May. Yeah, it was, right. So this one here, right? So we had, okay, here. It was actually 26 if we were looking at it on the 1 hour, but on the 30-minute, right, it shows us here 21 million new long trades came in at the high. Okay, 21 million new long trades came in at the high. We then formed the failed auction. Okay, so we know that 21 million long trades are underwater. Okay, as price starts to pull back, of course, I shorted this, right? I shorted the failed auction because I know that there's a higher probability that price is going to pull back. As price started to pull back, what do we see? Okay, we see open interest decreasing. Okay, so this is telling us that these 21 million long trades are covering. Okay, meaning that they are selling back into the market, and they are the reason that price is pushing lower. Okay, and that's how I took, advantage of that move towards the upside. So again, right, you have to think as a retail trader, right? You have to think of a beginner trader or a trader that uses or a breakout trader, okay? Because we know that the majority of the time, breakout traders lose trades, right? We know that. So what we want to do is we want to trade against them, right? We want to trade against them. Of course, we don't want to trade against them all of the time because sometimes they are right. Okay, we understand that sometimes they are right, but I know that the majority of the time that they are wrong. Okay, and you can visibly see this here, right? 21 million longs opening up on the breakout. Failed auction, right? We see price pullback. Okay, very, very simple. So yeah, that's kind of what I would like to see, just in the vice versa, of course, right? That's what I would like to see. I would like to see a lot, and I mean a lot of, like 17 million, 20 million, whatever it is. I want to see a lot of shorts opening up, okay, at the low here, okay, and then I want to see a swing failure pattern or a failed auction. If we see that, then I'm looking to take that trade, right? Then I'm looking to take that trade. So right now it's just patience, right? Patience, wait for the level, see what the reaction is like. If we get the reaction we want to see, I will take the long. If I don't, okay, and we don't form the failed auction, we continue to see the shorts coming in, then we know, okay, maybe the breakout traders are going to be right, okay? Maybe we'll give them the benefit of the doubt, right? And we'll let them be right this time, okay? So this is what we can kind of look for and think, okay, right, we're probably going to go lower from here, right? We probably will go lower. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking for right now. It's just simply trading this range until it breaks, right? Would have loved to have had the long trade from there because it would have been a really nice trade. Unfortunately, I missed it. I would have loved to have the short from here, but that was an impossible short to take because that move just happened so quickly. So now I remain patient and I wait for this possible long trade from here. I can see some comments have come in, so let's have a look. Brother, how to join your Discord channel? I'm new in crypto. Always follow your video, which is very helpful. Yes, so if you want access to the Discord, it is a paid Discord. So of course, if you want access to this, where I give all of my in-depth analysis away, the trades that I take, and the daily market updates that I do every single morning as well, then yeah, click the first link in the description. It will take you over to this page here, where of course you get access to the Discord, you get access to the XoChart templates, you get access to the education as well. So that's all over there if you want access to that. That's why ICT order blocks work, because there is trapped traders, not because it's the last up candle before the move down, for example. Yeah. Okay, I guess you have a bit more of a better understanding of ICT than I do right now. I've never looked into it. Right, for me, it's just a lot easier, and you get a lot more information by just literally looking at the orders, right? Zooming into the candle, looking at the orders. So yeah, this is how I like to do it. But yeah, I guess that's how it works. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah, for me, it like from what I've heard about ICT, like I know that I would never trade that. I just see a lot of, because I follow a lot of I follow, like, I like to watch stuff to do with trading. Okay, and that's kind of what my Instagram feed is full of. Right, my Instagram feed is literally full of yeah, like just trading stuff, and a lot of people that I see on there is just it's just rubbish, right? I see a lot of trend line traders. I see a lot of breakout traders, and I understand those are the type of traders that I'm, trading against. Okay, I know that I am counter trading a lot of those trades. ICT, I understand that it is kind of similar. I know that they look for liquidity, but from my understanding with ICT, they don't look at the in-depth analysis into the markets. They don't look at what is actually happening here. They don't look at the numbers. They don't look at the important stuff. And I've heard a lot of like bad stuff about ICT. Like I've just seen so many, because I like watching also videos of traders being outed as well. I know that one of the most recent one is this Mamba FX or something. Yeah, I love watching like traders being outed for their strategies and stuff. That I just find that interesting, right? And I've seen one on ICT as well. So it's a bit like, you know, yeah, I just don't. I know it's similar, but I understand that they don't use footprint software. So anyone that isn't using footwear software, of course, I can't say like you're not a profitable trader, but I just find it very hard to see someone as a profitable trader if they're not using some sort of footprint software like this. It doesn't have to be Exo; it can be Atos. I know that's free. Just some sort of footprint because for myself, I didn't actually become a profitable trader or a full-time trader until I started using Exo charts, right? Until I actually started looking at what was happening within the candles. Oh yeah, yeah. What I'm saying is, it doesn't make sense just looking at a block without seeing the numbers and opening. Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. Yeah, it's like they're on the right tracks. Like I understand they're kind of on the right tracks. I know that they look at fair value gaps, which is pretty much like that's what single prints are. I know that they look for liquidity, but I understand that ICT concept is it's more of a conservative way of trading, and by the time they enter into a trade, they've actually missed the majority of the trade as well. So when you're looking at stuff like open interest, when you're looking at stuff like the actual bid ask, you're looking at the important things, right? Like you're looking at the numbers that are in the candle. You can enter into the trade a lot earlier, and you can just take full advantage of the move, right? So yeah, I see. Yeah, I remember that one of the recent videos I watched as well was that the guy who created ICT, and he went live. He did like this first ever live stream or something, and he live traded, and he just lost every single trade. And then at the end of it, he said, "Oh, it was profitable because he'd opened up a trade before he even started the live stream." Yeah, which is just a little bit sus, isn't it? So yeah, for me, I just find stuff like that funny, to be honest with you, because I know that for myself, that was me, right? That was me 2 years ago, like thinking I was going to be a profitable trader using like certain strategies. But yeah, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of experience, right? It does take a lot of experience. Just literally looking at the charts, I've looked at the charts almost every single day for the past God knows how long, 3.5 years, probably even, yeah, maybe almost 4 years, like every single day. And for the past 2 years, right, I've been looking at Exo charts, right? For the past 2 years, I've been looking at Exo charts. So I have a really good understanding of it. And it's literally just time in the market, right? You start to pick up on things. Of course, you need a bit of guidance. You need to like understand what to look for. But then it's like when you know what to look for, you can kind of adapt it as well. I have adapted, strategy. Well, I wouldn't say that. Yeah, I've adapted like things that I've looked at as well. Okay, so something that I've learned, right? I've kind of adapted on it as well. So yeah, another thing that I've picked up recently, okay, for example, is like kind of looking at the line bar chart, okay, and then actually it literally just gets rid of the noise, right? And what we can do is we can pull a fib, okay, from the high to the low. And I've actually come up with a template for this as well. I put range, okay, and we can see here, right? We have the range high, okay, up here. Yeah, of course, we have a new range high at the top here, okay. But say we weren't looking at this, right? We say this price action wasn't here right now, okay, what we can see is it just simplifies it for us, right? Let's just get rid of all of these. So we can simplify it here, right? We can simplify it. This is something that I've been looking at recently. Literally just going into the line chart, okay, getting rid of all the wicks, right? Getting rid of all the noise, and then pulling the fib right from the low to the high, okay, and then changing to a range, right? So you have, of course, the range high up here, you have the range low down here, then you have the 50% here, you have the 25% here, and then you have the 75% here, okay. And it like it works exactly the same, but it's just a little bit more simple, right? Okay, you of course from the failed auction of the high here, right? You're looking at a short trade from here. Your stop loss is looking above the high. Of course, you have to go back into the candle, right, to determine where your stop loss is going to be, right? Because it's going to have to be a little bit higher, just up there, right? Okay, but then we can go back into the line chart and we can understand, right? You've entered into a trade here, okay, at the 75. You're looking to bring it down to the 50%, possibly even the 25, or sorry, in this case, because we're going down the 50 and then the 75 here, right? And then you have the 100%, okay, which is, the range low. Okay, so I've kind of been looking at this as well and thinking, right, okay, maybe I can really simplify things, but it's still very, very effective, right? So it's all about, looking at things and kind of turning it into something of your own, but it's, of course, still has to be like relatable, right? It still has to be valid, okay? But you can make it your own, right? And this is kind of how I've recently been trying to look at ranges. I've just been like playing around with it, right? Just see if I can like simplify it. Um, because of course, like if you're entering into a trade at say here the 75%, right, and you're exiting the trade at the at the 25%, this is still a 75% move, right, from here to here. Okay, so you're still you're still taking a lot of advantage of that range as well. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking at. Of course, it just gives you like more TP levels, right? It gives you like strong TP levels. So yeah, that's kind of how I've been looking at it recently. Just like playing around with it, right? Just playing around with it. And this is what you have to do, right? You have to play around with things. You have to experiment with things. Of course, if you're experimenting with something new, I wouldn't I wouldn't recommend, because I don't do it myself. I wouldn't trade off of it, right? But it's all about just playing around with things, seeing what works. Okay, just experimenting. That's what I was doing with exo charts for the past 2 years, just literally experimenting with it. A lot of the information that I got about exo charts was kind of just like reading stuff online. The rest of it, I kind of just had to like figure it out for myself and understand. There is, of course, a lot of information out there online, and a lot of things that you can read out there that teach you about this. But it's kind of like once you have a base, a solid understanding of it, like a fundamental understanding of it. Okay, it's then time and experience where you then gain the advanced understanding of it. Okay, it's just literally working with it, using it, and trading it. Basically, maybe you don't have to trade with real capital. Okay, maybe you can just paper trade, right? That's exactly what I did at the start. I paper traded it. Okay, and now I've got to my level where again, we come back to the last few weeks of trading that I've had. Okay, you can see here, right? Over a long period of time, I have more consistent wins than I do losses. Okay, and the losses are pretty, small compared to some of the wins, right? So over time, right, I understand that this works for me. Okay, and I understand that if I do just play around with it sometimes, I am going to have to, of course, be aware that I'm not going to trade my capital if I'm playing around with things, but it is always good, right? That's exactly how I got myself to this stage right now, was literally just playing around with it, just looking at it, um just literally experimenting with it. And yeah, over time, right, you start to grow a really good understanding of how the market actually works, because this is what moves the markets here, right? The numbers move the markets, not a trend line. Okay, not a head and shoulders, not a triangle. Those don't move markets, right? It's the actual orders that are coming in and out of the market that move the market. Okay, so once you understand that, okay, it will change your life forever, because you won't be trading triangle patterns, right, or the head and shoulders patterns, right? You'll be trading actual market orders. Okay, you'll be trading actual market orders. And again, right, I look at TradingView, right? TradingView is just a really nice way to look at things, right? A nice way to plan out trades. It's just, yeah, TradingView I love, right? It's just simple, easy to look at. And I do look at, yeah, you could call them trend lines. I'm calling this a range, right? And I'm looking at this as a line, right? Okay, we failed auction it, we swing failure pattern it. Okay, that's what I'm looking at, right? I'm not looking at breakouts, right? Because I understand that the majority of traders are actually looking to long a break towards the upside or short a break towards the downside. So yeah, you need to kind of shift your mindset from that to kind of like counter trading that by looking at where all the short trades are coming in here. All the short trades were coming in here. We then formed a swing failure pattern. Okay, short trades are underwater. Expectation is we get a rise towards the upside because shorts have to cover, buying back into the market, adding fuel to the fire, pushing price higher. Okay, once you understand how the market works, and once you understand how to read Excel charts, like you'll see it, and you'll just elevate your trade, like your win rate. You'll just literally elevate it. And it's just like, yeah, it's just so amazing. I just like, yeah, I was like, I'm not even affiliated to Excel charts, okay, but it's just such an amazing software. It's just absolutely amazing. I'll say this about anything, right? Atas is free. Atas is free. If you want to trade crypto, you have to have a Windows PC, but it's just absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, that's my little rant about my little rant about Excel charts and well, just footprint in general. But yeah, I was hoping after my little rant here, we would be at range low, but we're not. So yeah, I mean we're seeing open interest decrease a bit here. We do have absorption coming in here, right? We do have absorption here. I haven't actually been looking at this really though. I just wasn't really that interested in it. And this is like something that you can, of course, this is something that I trade quite a lot as well, right? Okay, so what we've got is a GP786, prices pulled back into the GP786. Okay, we had absorption coming into that level, right? Did we? No, we didn't actually have. So we've got absorption now, right? But coming into the level originally here, we didn't actually have absorption. No. No, we didn't have short absorption. We do have short absorption coming in now, but I'm not interested in it because I only look at absorption when we're coming into like a key level, such as GP786, maybe a naked point of control. That's kind of when I look at it. So yeah, right now I'm not really paying attention to that absorption. Of course, I'm aware of it, but I'm not going to trade that. Yeah, I'm expecting range low here. Like I said to the team over on the Discord, expectation now is that we come down to range low, where from there I can look for a long. That's my plan, right? We're coming down to range low now. So yeah, I wasn't interested in this absorption. Again, going back to my little rant. Again, you start to understand with experience as well when to look for certain things, right? Of course, we have absorption here. We can kind of look for a long trade possibly, but I understand here that my plan is for price to come down to range low where I look for a long trade. I'm not looking for long absorption here, right? It's just like again, experience, right? Once you gain experience, you'll know when to trade something and when not to trade something. Again, right? You're never going to get a 100% win rate. You're going to take losses here and there, right? Look at the past few weeks that I've had, right? I've taken a few losses here and there. Okay, it's acceptable, but you can see that the wins just massively outperform the losses, right? The wins outweigh the losses. Okay. So yeah, and that's another like big thing, right? If you understand when not to take a trade, right, that's also taking a trade. Okay, you have to think about that as well. Not taking a trade is also taking a trade. Okay, because again here, right, we had if we pulled this fib again, right, we had absorption coming into this level here, right? We had absorption coming into this level right here. We can see, right, that we have the GP786. We take a look at order flow, right? We can see CVD is clearly ticking towards the downside, clearly making lower lows. Price was clearly making higher highs, but I understood here, right? This is not really a favored trade in my eyes, right? I'm looking for range low, and there you go. Range low has been tapped, okay? Range low has literally just been tapped. So I'll just put this in the Discord quick. And now I can kind of look for a I can kind of look for a where am I going here? I can look for a long trade, right? Oh, what's going on here? Rednet, do you prefer absorption or also trade exhaustion? I kind of look at both, right? I mean, looking at this one here, it depends what you mean by I can't even say it now. Exhaustion. Okay, it kind of yeah, because you could consider this right with open interest decreasing. Okay, here as price has been rising, you could consider that exhaustion, but I'm kind of looking at this as okay. This is just like the shorts getting wrecked. Okay, this is the shorts covering. When you're seeing price pulling to a level like with strength, and then kind of now you're not really seeing that. Okay, well, no, this isn't a great example, but if you see price pulling back and then you see like it tapering off, then again, that could be valid for like a long trade, right? If you're pulling into a level, you see exhaustion, CVD exhaustion. Okay, CVD exhaustion. I don't really look at that to be. I only look at absorption on the CVD. That's only what I look at it for. Okay, I only look at the CVD for absorption coming into like a major level. That's the only way that I will look at it. To be honest with you. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Right. So you're talking about. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I fully know what you mean. I fully know what you mean now. So, yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't really look at that. I don't really look at that. So, for me, just a CVD divergence is price higher highs, okay, and then CVD lower lows, or price is lower highs and then CVD higher highs. That's like the only divergence that I look at. I understand, right? We can look at extort. Yeah, we can see here, right? We're not seeing. Yeah, you can look at that, but for me, I don't really look at it, and mainly because, right? It's yeah. I'm just a bit wary of what's going on here as well. Okay, not too interested in it as of yet. Right, yeah. It is valid, right? It is valid. I just haven't built statistics on it, right? I haven't, you can say I haven't experimented with it enough. But from how I've learnt, okay, I've never looked at exhaustion. Okay, I've never looked at it. I understand that if a lot of people, when I first got into it, into trading, right, there was a bullish divergence, and then there was like the hidden bullish divergence, right, and this is kind of considered like a hidden bullish divergence when you get price higher highs and then the CVD lower lows, but in like CVD divergences, that's literally just a divergence, and we don't look at hidden divergences. We don't look at normal divergence. It's this is just the divergence. So yeah, I don't look at that, to be honest with you. I understand that people do, right? And it's if it works for them, it works, right? I just don't look at it. But yeah, it is something that if it works for you, okay, use it, right? Because you have to use what works for you. Okay, that is kind of the aim of the game, right? Just use what works. Okay, use what works for you. For me, I just don't use it. It's not my preferred style of trading. But yeah, maybe I'll have to look into it and like just back test it and yeah. But for me, I just look at traditional CVD divergences. For me, those are the strongest, right? Those are the highest probabilities. Okay, so yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I'm not really too interested in. Of course, there is no long setup yet. Absolutely no long setup yet. Yeah, breakout shorts making dollars. Dangerous game though. Yeah, exactly. It is a dangerous game. From what I see, let's go into the lower time frames, right? Because this could just right. I'm looking at open interest decreasing here, right? So I kind of we're not seeing new shorts coming in here. So this is literally just fueled by longs getting wrecked, really, right? Because they're having to sell into the market. You can see it here, right? Open interest is decreasing, right? This is not new positions coming in. So these aren't new short trades here. Okay, these are just longs getting wrecked, right? Wow. Okay. Yeah, that would have been a really nice short trade from this morning or this afternoon. Sorry, that would have been a really nice short trade. But yeah, like I said, it just happened too quick. Wow, wow. Back at 69. Wow, Jesus. Yeah, that would have been a lovely short trade, wouldn't it? Lovely short trade. So yeah, yeah. This is a range break now, right? This is a range break. I was looking as well, like if there was a because I was monitoring it and I was looking for a second entry, and we did have a retracement back up to the GP 786. It's just not really enough confluence for me to enter into a trade there because yeah, we weren't seeing absorption. I would if we saw absorption into the level, I would have taken the trade. But yeah, I didn't. So yeah, it's not really looking that likely for a trade unless. No. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look here. Hey. We can talk about this briefly as well. Okay, so let's just pull an anchored VWAP from the low. Let's just pull a few anchored VWAPs. Let's just have a look at this. Okay. Okay, I like that. Don't really like that. Okay, I like this anchored VWAP from, what's it? Yeah, 60,000. That's been respected really nicely here. Okay, let's have a look here. That's really nice. We've got a weekly naked point of control at 67,850. Let's just confirm that. Did I say monthly naked point of control 67,850? Right. Yeah, well, that's been tapped. That was a tapped one, wasn't it? Okay. Right, I see. Okay. Too good to be true. Right, that's been tapped, right? 67. I need to remember to get rid of these, right? Why have I still got 67,350? Why have I still got this? That was tapped as well. So no naked point of controls. We'll look at some fixed ranges as well. I just don't really like this. I don't like this that much for a. Okay, I like this, right? Yeah, I mean, we've got value area low down there as well. Now it's just the case of I need to see absorption into that level, really. Which, of course, we are seeing. So, I mean, I could entertain a long from down here, to be honest. I could entertain a long from here. Yeah, I kind of like that Rednet naked weekly value area low. Naked weekly value area low. Let's have a look. That's monthly, weekly. Previous week value area low 67,260. That's a little bit too low. I'd say. Yeah, that value area low is just a little bit too low. Yeah, that's coming in around here. I would rather see this level being held than seeing price come down there. It's not impossible to get there, and then still like reclaim that VWAP. It's not, yeah. It's a possibility. I just feel as though it's a little bit too far away. Yeah, I'm just having a little think, right? Because it would be nice, right? It would be nice because I'm looking at this as higher low. Would be a nice another higher low, right? You've even got a low there as well. So it'd be nice for like, yeah, higher low. So yeah, I could see it being a valid trade, to be honest with you. I would just like us to respect that VWAP. If we lost the VWAP, I'll have to see what it's like. 67,800 looks juicy. Yeah. 67,800. I would like to see the VWAP being tapped, and I would like to see it being respected. Okay, if we lost the VWAP, I wouldn't be too interested in a long trade unless we reclaimed it. That's how I'm kind of looking at it. But yeah, I could see this. This is looking like a nice like swing long trade. We could look to take that back up to possibly 72,000, right? So another thing that I was looking at, right, and another thing that we're pulling back very quickly here. Another thing that I was looking at, right, was where are we? We haven't seen a move like this in quite a while, to be honest with you. We haven't seen a move like this in quite a while, which is good. But yeah, my alerts are going off. Yeah, so what I was kind of thinking here is I was looking at this Elliott wave count. I think it was this one here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Then we've got of course, ABC correction, which is kind of expected. This is kind of just like an A to C correction now, isn't it? So, but yeah, I was talking about. I think I was talking about this in the daily market update this morning. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in this long trade. I would rather. So we've just seen value area low being taken out of this range that we're in here. I'd rather see us tap that VWAP. I want to see that VWAP taken, and then I'm looking for that long trade really. I just really like this VWAP. I like how well respected it is. Yeah, right. So I can kind of just ignore this range now. I can get rid of this range. Right. It was a nice range to trade. I did unfortunately miss the long, and then the short was too quick to enter into. But it was a good range. We've now left that range clearly. The only thing that I can see other than that long trade there is, of course, now looking at this as a bigger range here. Where do I take it to? You can kind of take it to any. I kind of want to say that low there. So yeah, we can look at this as a range. We can just very simply look at this as a range now, right? Because we've tapped range high, literally to the dollar. Literally to the dollar. We've got a major rejection off of that. So yeah, we could be just looking at this as a range to be trading, right? We have to understand, right? We have our low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So we're in this like bullish structure, right? With these high lows, and you can take it even further back, right? Look at how bullish this is, right? You can just see how bullish this is. So if we are still going to remain in this structure, okay, then the long from here is like favorable for me. Is really favorable. But again, I just would like to see that VWAP tapped, right? That's like my preferred scenario. Like I could have already entered into this trade at value area low here. I could already have filled like a portion of the trade. But I'm just a little bit more interested in that VWAP. So we'll just see how it plays out. Okay. We'll just see how it plays out. I could enter into the trade lightly. I could enter with small capital. Oh, hay fever is absolutely ruining my day. So yeah, let's just refresh EXO charts quick, and let's just double check on what's happening with EXO. Yeah, so this is literally just like longs getting completely wrecked, right? This move is just longs getting completely wiped out. Like now thinking of this as like a range, my most preferred, whenever I see a range, right, my most preferred trade is from the range low. But I also understand, okay, like Let's just go on to the 8 hour here, right? Remember, um, let's just get rid of all of that for now. Remember this 8 hour range that I was trading? Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Right, this 8 hour trade that I was ranging, right? I took loads of trades within this range, right? What other trades were there? Yeah, there was that one. And there was that one in there as well. But yeah, there was also the short from all time high. I don't know if I've still got that on. No. Yeah, there was also the short from all time high up here. Okay, but remember this range that I was trading, right? And what I was looking at here, okay, it's kind of like a similar setup, okay? It's not the same, but it's kind of similar, right? We have a GP 786 level here. At this time, we were coming into a naked point of control, and we were also and we also had absorption, okay? So we were coming into GP 786. We had absorption, right? I took the long trade from there, and as you can see, it was a really nice, profitable trade, taking up to the high here, where we actually then took a short trade, right? We took a short trade down there. So, yeah, I mean, this is kind of something that I could view, possibly. But when I was looking at this, right, remember, I didn't see any of this price action here. So I wasn't really considering it as a range back then. So, yeah, getting rid of all this. But yeah, I'm kind of considering this as more of a range, right? We are getting a nice bounce off of that GP. I just understand my probabilities, right? And I understand that the highest probability trade is if we bounce off of that VWAP, which we have front run as of now. But yeah, really nice bullish reaction up. Yeah, thinking about it, like I could have entered in with like a small capital, you know, at the value area low. Yeah, I'm just looking at this VWAP though. It's just like, look how well respected it's been. I would just love to see that VWAP being tapped. Yeah, I guess it's just patience, right? It's literally just patience. I can see a few more people have joined. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button if you haven't already. It really helps me out, really helps the channel out, and I can continue to bring this content. And of course, if you are new as well, make sure that you do subscribe. I don't know how many subscribers we've got at the moment. 165. Let's refresh it, see if we got any more. Yeah, still 165. If you are new, make sure that you do subscribe. I'm quite interested to see what was happening in these candles here. Because from what I can remember, I think it was a good rise towards the upside. Yeah. Okay, that wasn't such a great rise. But yeah, we've had like 21 long trades have just been completely wrecked here. Anyway, yeah. Are there any more questions? Of course, if you have any more questions, put them in the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer them. I will probably end the stream here in a sec. Yeah, I've been live for an hour and 15 minutes. So yeah, I can see a lot of people are watching on Twitter. Actually, it says 54 people are watching on Twitter. I haven't actually. I don't know if people can comment on Twitter. But yeah, if you're watching on Twitter as well, make sure you smash that thumbs up so that I know people are watching. I don't really know how the Twitter works, but the Twitter lives work. Sorry, I know how Twitter works, but not the Twitter lives. I've only just started those. But yeah, if you're watching on Twitter, smash that thumbs up on the Twitter so that I can see. I can see Leron. Leron's liked on Twitter. Yeah, not really sure how that works, really. Oh yeah, sorry. I don't have Twitter. I have X. Yeah, X. Sorry, I still call it Twitter till this day. I haven't adjusted to it. I haven't. Yeah, it's like a habit, isn't it? It's like a habit. A habit's really hard to get out of. It's really. I've tried to call it X, but I also think just X is just the weirdest name. Why would you call it X? Twitter. It's just for me. It's always going to be Twitter. I feel. But yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people. I think the majority of the people call it Twitter, and then they add the little bit on the end saying, well, they say Twitter, but actually X. Yeah, yeah. It's too. I've been on Twitter for too long. Yeah, it's too ingrained into my head. But yeah, anyway, I will probably leave it there. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Good to see some familiar faces back. Island Time, good to see you here. Explore, I haven't seen you in the chat before. Maybe you've watched the videos before. But yeah, good to see you here. Rednat, always good to see you here as well. Anybody else? I think that's everybody. So yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Of course, if you want access to the Discord, if you want access to the education, first link in the description. It will take you over to this page here where you can gain access to all of that. Of course, the Discord. Yeah, I give all of the trades that I take away. Yeah, in the Discord, I give, of course, the daily market updates that we do every morning as well. So yeah, if you want access to all of that, first link in the description. But yeah, other than that, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Of course, if any of the team are watching, I will keep you up. I will keep you posted in the Discord if I do take a trade from here. But yeah, other than that, I will see you when I see you. So yeah, the next live stream will be Monday. I don't tend to live stream on the weekends. You know, if I'm feeling spontaneous, maybe I will. But yeah, I will see you guys on Monday. For any visionary members, of course, I will see you in the Discord, and of course for the week commencing preparation on the Sunday. So yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely Friday evening. Hope you have a lovely weekend, and yeah, we will regroup on Monday, and we will see what is happening and take a look at any new trades that are yeah possibly coming into fruition. So yeah, have a lovely